ain't no calm in Atlanta right now. The streets of social media are on fire, fans are speechless, and cast members are watching their backs. Karlie Redias, Miss Lipstick on Point, and Secret Spilling Queen is reportedly behind bars, and the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta fandom is losing its mind. But hold up, it gets juicy, because while everyone's trying to figure out what landed Karlie in cuffs, Kirk Frost stepped forward with a cold, calculated statement that had jaws dropping. She got what she deserved. No sympathy, no hesitation, just full-blown shade. Now rumors are swirling faster than a reunion table flip. Did Karlie cross a line she couldn't walk back from? Was this arrest a setup, revenge, or just karma finally catching up? And why is Kirk so smug about it? Is this payback for the accusations Karlie's thrown his way over the years? This isn't just another scandal, it's a whole saga unfolding before our eyes. So buckle up, because what we're about to uncover isn't just messy, it's downright explosive. And if anyone thinks this is fake, go watch the trailer yourself. It's all hinted there, plain as day. Now let's get into it. Here is the full 1,200-word part 1 of the main body for your video, titled Karlie Read in Jail. Kirk Frost says she got what she deserved. LHHATL S13 Drama Explodesis. The trailer for season 13 of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta hit the internet. Fans thought they knew what to expect: BBL shots, baby mama drama, and a few reunions nobody asked for. But within hours, everything shifted. One scene, one whispered moment, and suddenly, Karlie Read's name was trending for all the wrong reasons. Because this time, it wasn't about her face, her flings, or her famous emotional breakdowns. This time, the talk was about jail. Real handcuffs, flashing lights, and the kind of mugshot energy you can't Photoshop your way out of. Rumors were already blazing by the time the first official report hit the blogs. The streets were buzzing, and fans wanted answers. What the hell did Karlie do? It all started, according to sources close to the production, at an exclusive lounge event thrown just outside Atlanta. This wasn't a big public red carpet affair. This was the kind of low-key, semi-private celebration where cast and crew sip champagne, spill tea, and pretend to be civil until the cameras roll again. But something about that night went left. One guest described the energy as off from the minute Karlie walked in. She had that look, they said, like she came with something to get off her chest, and it wasn't gonna be pretty. Karlie Yuna, never one to hold her tongue, was reportedly overheard telling someone she was going to let the whole city know the real story about a certain cast member. And while no names were confirmed at the time, the internet didn't need long to connect the dots. The cast member in question, Kirk Frost. The same Kirk who spent more than a decade dodging cheating, accusations, baby mama bombshells, and enough marriage scandals to fill 3 seasons on their own. And apparently, Karlie had something new to say, something big enough to make the room tense before she even said a word, but she never got the chance. Within minutes of her arrival, according to multiple attendees, 2 uniformed officers walked in and made their way straight to Karlie. The music cut, the conversations died, and all eyes turned to the woman who, just moments earlier, was gearing up to light a fire. What happened next? Nobody's giving the full details, but video leaked online showed Karlie being escorted out of the venue by police. No struggle. No screams. Just a face that looked both furious and stunned at the same time. And that's when the internet lost its mind. Was she set up? Did she break the law? Was this connected to the drama she was threatening to expose? Or was this karma catching up in real time? As fans scrambled to piece things together, the blogs did what blogs do best: speculate, stir, and serve the mess hot. And right in the middle of it all, Kirk Frost decided it was time to speak. While Kirk has never been known as the most vocal cast member, he picked the perfect moment to drop a statement that sent shockwaves across social media. She got what she deserved. He posted on his story, "No tag. No photo? Just those words, plain and cold." It was enough. Fans instantly assumed the message was about Karlie's arrest, and if that's true, then Kirk just declared war. Now let's not forget, Kirk and Karlie have a long, messy history. While they were never romantically linked, their dynamic has always been ... complicated. Karlie's never held back when it came to calling Kirk out on camera, whether it was about his shady business moves, his rocky marriage to Rashida, or those infamous rumors that Kirk was sliding into DMs during filming breaks. And Kirk, well, he usually stayed quiet. Until now, What makes this even wilder is the timing. Not only did Kirk post that message right after news of Karlie's arrest broke, but fans also noticed that Rashida liked the post before unliking it hours later. That one tap of the finger was enough to send conspiracy theories into overdrive. Was this all orchestrated? Was there a plan to silence Karlie before she could speak? Or did Karlie just finally push too far and reality came crashing back? As the backlash rolled in, some fans came to Karlie's defense. This woman's been humiliated on TV for years. One wrote, and now she's arrested and Kirk's celebrating. Nah, that don't sit right. Others weren't so sympathetic. Karlie stay messy and finally caught a case. Someone else said, you play with fire long enough, you get burned. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, the cast was divided. One insider claimed that several members of the LHHATL crew were shocked by the arrest but not surprised. People have been saying for months that Karlie was moving reckless. They shared she's been trying to dig up dirt, air out secrets, start beef with people who got real pulled. It was only a matter of time. Another insider said it wasn't just Kirk she was gunning for. Apparently, Karlie had also been pressuring producers to let her confront multiple cast members about alleged hookups, secret deals, and off-camera betrayals. She thought it would boost her screen time, they said. But people started getting nervous. Like, real nervous. That's when a different kind of rumor started making the rounds that the arrest wasn't about anything Karlie did that night, but something she'd been warned to stop doing for weeks. Nobody's confirming what that was exactly, but the timing feels too perfect to ignore. One theory suggests that someone tipped off authorities not to punish Karlie, but to stop her from going public with whatever she had planned to say, whatever. The real story is, fans agree on one thing. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta hasn't seen this level of tension in years. Not since Joe's line was flipping tables or Tommy was pulling up unannounced. This is different. This feels calculated, dangerous even, because Karlie Redd isn't just a side character. She's a staple. She's one of the few cast members whose been there through nearly every era of the show, and to see her escorted away in cuffs while the cameras keep rolling. That's not just drama, that's history being made. Painful, messy, jaw-dropping history. And it's just the beginning. Back at the scene, the aftermath of Karlie's arrest wasn't just whispers and wide-eyed. It became a moment of reckoning. The cast, producers, and even the crew found themselves caught in a storm of speculation. Who knew what? Who said what? And more importantly, who set it all in motion? Because while Karlie was being processed downtown, the cast was splitting into camps faster than you can say reality meltdown. And right at the center of it, all Kirk Frost, acting like he just watched the season's final boss get eliminated. But Kirk didn't stay silent for long. According to someone close to the production, Kirk had been feeling cornered for weeks. With all the buzz about new cast members and old cast secrets, he knew his name was going to come up again, and not in a good way. One source said Kirk had been overheard telling a friend, "I'm not about to let her play with my name again this season." The her, of course, being Karlie. What made Kirk even more defensive was that he and Rashida were supposedly trying to clean up their image this season. They wanted fewer scandals, more unity, and maybe even a focus on business. But Karlie, she was allegedly on a mission to bring all the mess back to the front. And Kirk, he wasn't having it. According to a producer who asked to stay anonymous. Kirk had been warning folks for weeks that someone was about to expose themselves, and that he wasn't going to play the quiet one anymore. He's been itching to say something, the source said. And when Karlie got arrested, he saw that as his green light. Meanwhile, Rashida's reaction raised eyebrows to, while she never posted anything publicly, that one moment when she liked Kirk's shady story didn't go unnoticed. Some fans think she was being petty. Others think she accidentally let the truth slip. But the damage was done. Rashida, who's always tried to play the level-headed one, was suddenly seen as part of the takedown team. And the internet doesn't forget. Even people outside the show started chiming in. Influencers, former cast members, and hip-hop insiders all had something to say. One podcast host called it the realest moment in LHH history. Another tweeted, "Karlie's been spilling everybody's business for years. Now the streets got receipts on her." And then came the most unexpected twist yet. The following morning, a mysterious clip began circulating. It showed Karlie at a previous event talking to someone just off. Her voice was low, but clear enough to catch. "I know where the bodies are buried," she said. "And if I go down, a few others going with me." Fans lost it. Who was she talking about? Kirk. Someone else in production. A cast member from another franchise. Theories exploded. Some believed it was just Karlie being dramatic. Others were convinced it was a legit threat. But the one thing no one could deny, the fear in her tone. Karlie wasn't playing games. She was warning someone in that someone clearly didn't take it lightly. The question now was, had that clip been leaked as a warning shot or as a setup? With emotions boiling and no clear answers, fans turned to the only place they could betray Luke. They combed through every second looking for clues, context, anything that could connect the dots. And that's when they found it, a scene barely 2 seconds long, showing Kirk sitting at a bar, turning to someone and saying, "You can't play victim and throw stones." Two fans are convinced that moment was about Karlie, that it was filmed right after he found out she was trying to air his business. And now that she's behind bars, even temporarily, that line hits different. But Kirk didn't stop there. In an off-camera convo that leaked just hours after the trailer aired, Kirk reportedly said, "If you're coming for me, you better come with something real, because lies don't hold weight when you're standing on shaky ground." Fans immediately connected the dot. Was Kirk implying that Karlie was lying, or that her own situation made her claims irrelevant? Regardless of intent, the backlash was immediate. Some fans rallied behind Kirk, calling him brave for standing up 2 years of accusations. Others dragged him for kicking a woman while she was down. Kirk always quiet when it's his mess. One fan tweeted, "But now he loud because Karlie caught a charge. Boy, please." And as for Karlie, word from inside says she's not staying quiet for long. One of her close friends allegedly told a blogger she's gonna talk, and when she does, it's gonna flip the whole season on its head. They claim Karlie's been sitting on receipts for months, text messages, screenshots, even voice notes. If that's true, then what's coming next might be even messier than her arrest. And remember, Karlie has a history of bouncing back. Every time she's written off, she claws her way back into the spotlight, sometimes with tears, sometimes with a new man, but always with drama. And this situation, it's giving her more material than ever before. Some fans are even saying the arrest could be a turning point. This might finally make her the main storyline, someone posted. She's been playing second fiddle for too long. Now she's got the whole cast shook. Producers are allegedly scrambling behind the scenes. One source says they're trying to figure out how much of the footage they can use and how much they need to re-edit to match the real-life headlines. It's like the show started writing itself, the insider said. "We couldn't have scripted this if we tried." Meanwhile, Kirk seems to be soaking in the spotlight. A few days after the arrest, he was seen posting more cryptic messages. "The truth don't need defending," one said. Another post showed him smirking in front of a luxury car with the caption, "Worry about yourself." Clearly, Kirk feels vindicated. And if the whispers are true, he's even trying to pitch a new storyline with Rashida focused on healing from public betrayal. But fans aren't buying it. Don't nobody want to hear Kirk talk about healing? One comment read, "He need to be healing them wounds from all the cheating he did." As the drama escalates, the rest of the cast is treading carefully. Some are staying quiet, waiting to see how things unfold. Others are allegedly reconsidering who they align with this season. Because if Karlie really does have the dirt she claims, nobody's safe. And that's the part that has everyone on edge. If Karlie was willing to risk it all, knowing she might face legal consequences, what was she holding on to that made it worth the risk? More to come in the next section. As the whispers turned into rumbles, a new layer of drama began to surface. And it came straight from the lips of someone fans never expected to weigh in. Mama D. Out of nowhere, she popped into a live stream and dropped a few breadcrumbs that made viewers clutch their phones tighter. "Baby," she said with her signature flair. "Y'all think Karlie the only one with secret? Please. Folks, forget. Cameras don't catch everything, but ears do." That one sentence sent fans spiraling into speculation was Mama D suggesting that Kirk and Karlie weren't the only ones tangled in this mess. Or was she hinting that someone else, someone even closer, had played a role in setting this whole thing up? Fans started pulling clips, rewatching old interviews, and pointing fingers at every glance exchanged in the trailer. But then, just as the internet was settling into chaos, Karlie's best friend posted a cryptic video. No words, just the sound of a jail cell slamming shut, followed by a voice note of Karlie laughing and saying, "They thought this would break me. Baby, this is just my beginning." That clip went viral within hours. Suddenly, Karlie wasn't just a victim or a villain, she was a phoenix rising, and fans were split down the middle. Some declared her the new queen of LHHATL, saying she was carrying the season on her back before it even aired. Others weren't as forgiving. "Karlie always got something going on." One commenter wrote, "But if she really did what they saying she did, she need to be off the show." Kirk, however, wasn't ready to give up his spotlight. In another not-so-subtle post, he shared a throwback photo with a caption that read, "Watch who you play, dirty. Tables always turn." The shade wasn't just obvious, it was nuclear, and fans were eating it up. Meanwhile, Rashida remained silent, at least publicly, but word had it she'd been filming heavy. An insider said she was using every confessional to reinforce the idea that she and Kirk were finally in a good place. Problem was, nobody believed it. Not with all the side comments Kirk had been making. Not with fans still bringing up Jasmine's name every other day. And definitely not with Karlie allegedly ready to spill more tea. The next bombshell came when a police report surfaced online. It didn't list full details, but it confirmed that Karlie had been taken into custody over a dispute involving property damage and verbal threats. The name Kirk Frost appeared under the statement giver section, and that's when the internet exploded again. Did Kirk really call the cops on Karlie? Or was he just questioned as a witness? Fans debated it all night. One Twitter thread even broke down the timeline based on known filming dates. Trailer scenes and behind-the-scenes footage. Some folks were convinced this was all part of a bigger plot. Kirk setting her up to save his own storyline. One tweet read, "This man been quiet for years, and now all of a sudden he got a voice." But not everyone was buying the conspiracy theories. A few believed Kirk had finally hit his limit. Imagine being dragged season after season, and now someone trying to go public with even more lies. A fan commented, "Maybe he just did what he had to do." Regardless of who called the cops or why, the tension was now bleeding into every aspect of the show. Producers were said to be working overtime, cutting and stitching scenes to match the real-world timeline. One anonymous crew member told a blog, "We've had to scrap 3 episodes and rework them from scratch. The arrest changed everything." And it wasn't just about the arrest anymore. Rumors started flying that Karlie had hired a crisis PR team and was negotiating with for a special one-on-one episode to tell her side of the story. If that's true, it means Karlie is turning her lowest moment into a major media win, possibly a bag. But Kirk wasn't done either. Insiders claim he approached producers with an idea for a healing and accountability panel involving past and present cast members. The catch, Karlie wasn't invited. The goal, some say, is to shift public sympathy back toward him and Rashida by framing them as the grown evolved couple just trying to move forward. Whether fans will buy that is another story, Doug. Meanwhile, back in the comments, fans are still divided. Karlie been messy, but she ain't dumb. One wrote, if she really got locked up, best believe she gonna turn it into a moment. Another replied, I can't believe Kirk acting all self-righteous, like he ain't been dragging Rashida through the mud for years. The heat even reached old cast members. Joseline Hernandez tweeted a gif of someone sipping tea with no caption. Fans immediately assumed it was about the drama. Tommy Lee went live for 5 minutes, just laughing and shaking her head. And Michelle liked 3 tweets dragging Kirk and Rashida's butt loud enough for her loyal fans to notice. Back in Atlanta, sources say the producers are considering bringing the cast together for an emergency, not a reunion, those are still on hold, but a raw, unfiltered roundtable where everyone gets to speak their piece. And apparently, Kirk is pushing hard for it. Some believe he wants to set the record straight before Karlie drops whatever bombshell she's been threatening. But the real shock came when a clip surfaced from an unaired scene filmed weeks before the arrest. In it, Kirk and Karlie are seen having a tense exchange outside a venue. Kirk is heard saying, "You better stop before it gets out of hand," and Karlie claps back, "You already pushed it too far. Just wait." That clip alone sent fans spiraling again. Had the fight been brewing all along? Was this arrest the climax of something that had been boiling under the surface for months? Questions are everywhere, and answers are few. But one thing's for sure, LHHATL Season 13 just got its headline storyline, and neither Kirk nor Karlie is backing down. The tension, the shade, the secret sits, all playing out in real time. And fans are front row witnesses to the chaos. With the leaked video clip now circulating like wildfire. The internet was officially in shambles. The footage, allegedly filmed by a background crew member, showed Kirk Frost sitting off to the side of a production van, smirking with a drink in hand. The words that slipped from his mouth didn't just sting, they ignited. "That's karma. I told y'all she'd end up like this. Too loud, too messy. And now look." Those watching had to replay the audio just to be sure they heard, right? Was Kirk really celebrating Karlie Red's arrest? Fans couldn't believe it. The comment sections turned vicious. Some supported Kirk, calling it poetic justice. Others were furious, reminding everyone of Kirk's own scandals and the fact that Karlie had once gone out of her way to support Rashida during Kirk's machismo moments. The narrative shifted. No longer was this about Karlie's alleged, was about who had the right to call her out. Kirk, of all people, had set himself up for the backlash of the decade. Memes flooded timeline. One showed Kirk's face photoshopped into a courtroom sketch with the caption, "Mr. Frost, you're out of order." Another had a screenshot of Rashida with a thought bubble that read, again. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, word was Rashida wasn't happy either. Insiders whispered that she never co-signed Kirk's comments, and she was embarrassed it had become public. She had already been under fire for her ongoing tension with Yandy, and now her husband's slick mouth was dragging her deeper into the mess. One insider close to the couple said Rashida is trying to play it cool, but privately she told a friend she wished Kirk would just shut up for once. Over on Karlie's end, the mood was tense. Sources say she was already stressed about the public reaction, but when she saw Kirk's clip, her blood boiled. One of her confidants allegedly shared that Karlie was furious and told her team, "He got the nerve to talk about me like I ain't got secrets too. If you want war, I got missiles." Social media picked up the quote and ran with it. Fans were now demanding Karlie return to the show with full receipts. Don't just threaten, sis. Drop them screenshots, drop them texts, drop that studio footage. We need the smoke. One viral tweet read. The energy was electric. The pressure on Karlie to retaliate reached its peak. What happened next was a total curve. Karlie's lawyer released a statement, short, cold, and direct. At this time, we are reviewing all defamatory statements made regarding our client. Legal action is not off the table. And just like that, the game changed. Kirk's comment, once seen as petty shade, now had real consequences. The idea that he might be dragged into legal proceedings added another twist nobody saw coming. Inside, sources say Kirk started scrambling. One of his producers allegedly advised him to apologize publicly, suggesting a social media live session with a neutral tone. Kirk reportedly resisted, saying, "I ain't apologizing for telling the truth." But as the heat rose and the calls from his brand sponsors started sounding nervous, Kirk slowly began to reconsider. His Instagram stories suddenly went silent. No outfits, no studio shots, no gym selfies, just quiet. And then Boom Spice went live. The queen of timing, Spice knew exactly when to make her presence felt. She didn't name names, but her shade was surgical. People love throwing dirt when their own backyard dirty as hell. Just because someone go through something don't give you the right to dance on their downfall. And trust me, cameras catch more than y'all think. Fans lost it. The comments were full of clapping emojis, goat emojis, and fire. Everyone knew she was talking about Kirk. And while Kirk tried to act like he wasn't bothered, insiders say he was furious. He thought Spice was gonna back him, one source said, but she don't play those fake loyalty games. Meanwhile, Rashida was stuck in the middle at a beauty event. Days later, a fan asked her if she supported Kirk's comments. Her response was short but telling, "I support growth," she said, and moved on. It wasn't exactly a denial, but it wasn't an endorsement either. Fans read between the lines and started questioning whether trouble was brewing at home. As if things weren't dramatic enough. A bombshell post showed up on an anonymous gossip page. The caption read, "Someone just sent us this from months ago." Is Kirk playing both sides? The video attached showed Kirk and Karlie hugging at a lounge event, laughing like old friends. Fans were shook. When was this filmed? Before the drama? During it? Was their beef even real? Suddenly, conspiracy theories exploded. Some believed it was all orchestrated to generate buzz for the new season. Others argued the tension was real and this clip was old. But the damage was done. Trust in the storyline had cracked, and fans didn't know what or who to believe anymore. In the midst of all this, Mama D entered the chat. In her signature style, she posted a cryptic message, "Jail ain't for the weak, and liars always break first. God sees." The internet went wild. Was she taking Kirk's side? Was she hinting that Karlie's arrest was just the beginning? Her follow-up comment only deepened the mystery. Y'all just wait. The truth always sings. People began speculating whether Mama D had inside info. Some claimed she'd been at the same event where the original incident went down. Others swore she had warned Karlie weeks earlier. What was true and what wasn't didn't even matter anymore. The drama had taken on a life of its own. At the same time, Scrappy, who had mostly stayed quiet during all this, posted a photo of himself in church with the caption, "Peace over problems." Fans couldn't help but drag him into the conversation. "This you," one comment said with a screenshot of Scrappy and Karlie from a past season, arm in arm and Scrappy ignored it, but the reminder of past ties only added more gasoline to the fire. All of this chaos was happening with the new season just days away. Producers were reportedly thrilled. One source claimed the entire team had re-edited the season premiere to include updated confessional commentary and tease the fallout from the arrest and Kurt's shady remarks. They knew this was gold, the source said. They weren't about to miss this wave. Meanwhile, fans continued debating every angle. Was Karlie really in the wrong? Or was she being targeted for finally standing up for herself? Was Kirk exposing truth or just being spiteful? And most importantly, what was Rashida really thinking behind closed doors? So, after everything that's gone down, we're left with more questions than answers. Karlie Red, once the queen of survival in chaos, is now facing one of the biggest storms of her life. Fans are divided, friends have gone silent, and enemies are suddenly louder than ever. And just when we thought it couldn't get any deeper, Kirk Frost steps out of the shadows and throws a grenade into the mix. Whether you believe he's being honest or just messy, one thing's for sure, this drama has reached a whole new level. RASHEEDA. Single quotes. S. Silence is starting to speak volumes. Spice's live hit harder than any diss track. And Mama D is stirring the pot like it's Thanksgiving dinner. It's giving scandal, it's giving betrayal, it's giving reality TV gold. But we want to know what you think. Is Kirk telling the truth or just being petty? Does Karlie deserve this fallout, or is she being dragged unfairly? Should Rashida step in and defend her old friend, or is she washing her hands of the whole mess? And if you still don't believe how real this drama is, go ahead and watch the season 13 trailer for yourself. The receipts are out there. This ain't just made up tea. This is the kind that's already boiling. So hit that like button. If this story had you clutching your pearls, drop a comment below with your hot take, because we're reading every single one. And don't forget to subscribe, because trust us, we've got more drama, more updates, and more receipts coming your way real soon. Stay tuned, stay messy, and remember, on Love and Hip Hop, anything can happen, and usually does.